Welcome to LovegLew Creations, where we create and design for your inspiration. I'm Felicia. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's wreath. All right, everyone. So I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and looking forward to New Year's in a few days. Wow. So 2023 is almost over, you guys. So what a whirlwind of a year it was for me. I'm sure the rest of you all were busy in preparation for Christmas and so forth. And now that it's over, we can get ready to woosah and move on to 2024. I'm excited about it. But I do have a few announcements that I want to talk about. I know I had mentioned to you all that we would have live sessions, and that I want to do. So 2024, we'll start doing that. What I'm going to do is have wreath kits available for those that are interested. It'll be a limited number. However, we're going to start with the basics. We're going to start with a beginner wreath for those that want to get into this business or who just want to do it for a hobby. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy doing it, and you can share the same information with friends and family and so forth. So it's something that you can carry on from not just for yourself, but down to your children, your grandchildren, and so forth. So one thing I would like for you all to keep in mind is when we do start making wreaths, you're going to need the supplies. So I do have the supplies listed in my description below. That's the craft board, the rotary cutter, the glue gun, the glue sticks, the bow maker. For those of you who have never made a bow, that bow maker is everything. I mean, I use it for all types of bows. A lot of people, like I say, can make their bows by hand, and that's something that I haven't mastered yet. So everybody's different in how they make their wreaths and what they do. So it's stages and how you learn different things. And if you find a tool or a source that works for you, go with it. So consider getting those supplies. If you already have them, great. But you're going to need them. And again, we're going to start with the basic wreath, nothing over the top like I've been making, and we'll start there and build our way up from there. Like I said, I will supply the kits, and when that time comes, I'll let you know when they're available on my Etsy shop and you can purchase them. 2024 also is going to be a year for me to promote some small businesses just like mine. A lot of small businesses sell their items on Etsy, and so I purchase a lot of focal points from Etsy designers as well. And so today's wreath is going to be made strictly from an Etsy designer. Her name is Babam Wreaths, and everything that we're using today besides the grapevine is from her shop. So, and she has some beautiful items that we're going to use today, and then going forward as we're doing more Valentine and more Easter and Mardi Gras, I'll be buying some focal points from some Etsy shops and promoting them as well. So feel free to go on Etsy, buy those products, or if you see anything from those designers, feel free to purchase what you need to make your own wreaths. Okay, everyone. So today's wreath is going on my Etsy shop. All right. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. The last wreath that I made, the one with the disco balls, it sold immediately. So FYI, if you're interested, gotta jump on it as soon as you can. All right. All right, so now we're going to show you what the wreath recipe is. I'm so excited to do this wreath. It's going to be beautiful. And I promise you that there's coffee in here. And this cute little cup came from my grandbabies, you guys. So came from them for one of my birthday that I had. So isn't this cute? It's got a pickle handle, so it says I'm kind of a big deal. All right, okay. All right, so for that moment, here we go. All right, so we're going to start off with our grapevine wreath. This is a 18-inch. Got this from Hobby Lobby, okay? This is not a on-sale item from Hobby Lobby. Their grapevines are never on sale. However, all Christmas items at Hobby Lobby right now are 66% off. For those of you who are in the States and there's a Hobby Lobby next to you, take advantage of that. There's some great stuff, and my Hobby Lobby had a lot of things left. All right, so we're gonna use this beautiful spring pick. This, again, Babam Wreaths. We're going to use some other picks within our design. How pretty is this? Nice and pink and whimsical kind of look. We have some gold balls that we're going to use. All right. and some more gold leaves. These are gold ferns, again from Babam. Our focal point is this beautiful pink heart. So I love that. Nice and light, perfect for wreaths. And this beautiful pink and gold ribbon. How pretty is that? That came from Babam's shop as well. And we're gonna add and use this gold ribbon. So this wreath, this Valentine's wreath is going to be pink and gold with some spring flowers, all right? I'd also like to give a shout out to all the people around the world who are watching me. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm definitely taking all that in stride. I want to do more for you guys. I know a lot of you said you can't find the supplies where you are. Hopefully when I start making these wreath kits, we can get some stuff to you and you can start doing some things on your side. All right. Okay, so now that we showed you the wreath recipe, now let's wreath. First things first, we want to clean up our grapevine wreath base. For those of you who have been following me, you know that that's one of the first things we do when we make a grapevine. So all we want to do is cut the excess that's sticking up from around the grapevine. So you see all these little pieces that are sticking out. We want to definitely get that cleaned up and out the way. And so we have a clean surface as we're applying our attachments. So do your best to clean it up as best as you can, and making sure it's not raggedy looking. I know the majority of our embellishments will cover up this, but when you see it from this around here and around the center, that's what gets ugly. I don't like that, okay? So I like a clean surface, and that's what you want to work on. So we'll be right back after I finish doing this. First things first, we're going to add our focal point. So if you can see this clear piece of hook that's on this heart, what I want to do is cut that. I don't want to cut it off because I'm going to use it. I just want to cut it so I can help use this as a stabilizer to wrap around the wreath. But what I want to do is also, I need to add some attachments to my heart so that it can fit on my wreath base about right here. And I use this, so on your grapevine wreath, make sure that you find like where you want to position all of your embellishments. And grapevines are kind of weird. They have different kinds of shapes and dips and so forth, which you can use to your advantage. So take advantage of that. So I'm going to use this this area right here. It kind of has a little dip in it. I want to sit it kind of cat-a-corner on my wreath base. So what I want to do is add attachments to this, since there's none on the back of this. So sometimes we have to improvise. Sometimes we have to, as wreath makers, create our attachments for ourselves. So I have some floral picks, all right, and I also have some floral wire. Okay, so this comes from Hobby Lobby or any craft store, floral store, and it's just long strips of wire, and they're pretty sturdy, pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this in glue, and then I'm going to insert it into my heart, and then when I insert it in there, I'm going to run my wire underneath so that it becomes now a hook or an option for me to use to attach my heart to my wreath base. So adding the glue to the tips as I insert it is going to help it stay, and I'm also going to add some glue to the top of it once I add my wire. All right, so I'm going to use my trusty glue pot. So this is also listed in my description below. All right, make sure we get enough glue on there. This is just going to help stabilize it inside the base. This is a styrofoam base, and it's covered with this sparkly material. It's very lightweight. All right, so find a center point, insert it in, push it through, run our wire through, okay, and stick it through, just like that. All right, you want to make sure it's turned sideways so that way we can wrap it around our wreath, and we're gonna insert this, do the second one. And I'm gonna apply it right about there. Insert the wire. Let's fold it in half, find that center point. Push it through, just like that. All right, so now I've made my own attachments for my wreath, for my heart, for my focal point. And just wanna go ahead and glue that in there and make sure it's secure. Just like that. And I wanna give it a little bit to dry. We want it really good and sturdy on there. And let's give it a moment to dry.
Turn the heart sideways so they can see it.
Okay. All right, can y'all see that? And don't forget, we're gonna use this at the top as well. So we want it to really be secure. Push that through really good. There we go. All right. Let's give that a second to dry. Next, we're going to go ahead and attach our heart to the wreath. So we've got our wire ready and secure. I've got my hoop at the top that came with the heart. Found my spot where I want it to go. I want it to be kind of cat-a-corner like that. All right, so let's turn it over. And let's get it attached. All you have to do is wrap it around. Make sure it's secure. Twist it. Give it a good twist. Make sure it's on there really, really well. There you go. All right. That, the hoop that I cut, the clear hoop, I want to go ahead and clear string, use that as well as extra support. And it's clear, so you won't be able to see it. So let's tie that on. Make a knot. And most, you know, if it didn't come with this hoop, I wouldn't be able to use it. So I would just use what I created to make an attachment for it. All right. Okay. So we're going to cut this down so it's not sticking out. All right. So now we can see how it looks on the front. And what I want to do is definitely add a little bit of glue to the back just to make sure it's on there nice and steady. As well, all security we can get, we want to use. Okay. All right. So I'll cut these off later. Let's go on to the next step. All right, y'all. So when I applied the heart initially, I didn't like where it was. So I was like, what the heck did I do? And the way that I want it to kind of look, I want the heart to be kind of cat-a-corner, so my sprays can kind of go around it and just overlap a little bit. I didn't like it right here on the center, so just kind of give y'all what I did so you can kind of see how it looks now, as opposed to, you see where this is, the center of the heart, I had it right there, right here in the center of the wreath, but I want it cat-a-corner, so if y'all can see that. So I just repositioned everything and just moved it over. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Again, us as craftpreneurs, as we're called, we can change our minds and make different decisions and so forth. It's not the end all, as long as you can get it off before it's glued on. Of course, hard glued on. All right, so that was one thing I wanted to point to you guys. So next thing I want to do is start adding our florals. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull them apart. Again, the way they're made, you can just pull them apart. So in this pick, I always point out to you guys, when you buy a pick, you have more than one pick. So we're just going to pull down the picks, and I want this one to be kind of tall. So we'll have some tall ones as we apply them. We want to spread them out so they can spray out, and we can see every last bit of the detail from each one. I'm going to use both of these picks in my design. So let's tear these down. And this is the fun part. You get to get your aggravation out when you're making your designs by tearing it apart. So it works perfectly. And I love these pretty spring colors, pretty spring picks. Is really pretty. That comes from Babam's wreath shop. So, and what I'm going to do is apply them within the wreath, and I'm not going to glue them yet. So I don't like to glue until I know where I position them, because we still have more picks to apply. And I also have a bow that I want to add right in the center. It's going to really stand out, okay? So let's go ahead and start adding the picks. And so we'll add some on the inside, just like that. These will be glued in. And if we need to, we can also use floor wire on them. So we'll have some coming out this way. So just like that. Have some coming out this way. Now I want to make sure I leave room for my bow. All right. And we're going to have a little bit overlapping our heart, and that's okay. That's fine. All right. And have one here. And one more. Let's put it right here, because we're still going to have more sprays to add. But I want to make room, just make sure I have a little opening for my bow. And again, this is beautiful ribbon, and we're using a different size bow. So the ribbon is 4 inches and 2.5 instead of 2.5 and 1.5. So it's going to be really stand out, really, really pretty, and bounce off this pink. And so let's go ahead and get these glued in. I think this is a good placement. And let me get them glued in, and all I'm going to do is use my glue gun and pull them out, add some glue. Don't need to pull them all the way out. Add some glue and stick them back in there, okay? So real simple. Get it secure in there. All right. And let me finish gluing. We'll be right back. Okay, so now it's time for us to make our bow. Look how I love this. This is beautiful. I love that it's gonna have the gold and the pink added to it. This extra pizzazz of gold is really gonna make it stand out. But how beautiful is this? It's just so pretty. It's like almost like an embroidery ribbon. Again, this is a 4.0 inch, 4-inch ribbon. So it's a little thicker than what we usually use, but you can still make a beautiful bow out of this. I love how these two bounce off of each other, and when we start adding our golden pink picks to it, it's gonna just pop this entire wreath completely. Again, your bow, your ribbon really does matter, and finding the right colors to match and bounce off your design is really what captivates the whole design in itself. So let's go ahead and make our bow. What I'm going to do is create a bow that has 6-inch tails, and then this ribbon will have 2 6-inch loops. On top of that ribbon, it'll have a 6-inch tail and 2 5-inch loops. All right, so I'm gonna make the bow. You can see me creating the bow in a slower tutorial in some of my other YouTube videos, but we're going to speed this one up so you all can we can get to the next part of it. But making my bows using the bow maker makes making the bow so much easier and so much more awesomer. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm done making my bow. And one thing that I want to do is I'm going to attach my bow with floral wire on this one. So we're going to thread the floral wire through the zip tie before I make it really, really tight. So you see me threading it through. Maybe I already made it too tight. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is how we're going to attach the bow to the grapevine. Now I can get it as tight as I need it to be. And guess what I'm going to do, everyone? We are going to put a beautiful gem right in the center. So the gem is also going to make it sparkle. The gem matches the heart. It matches the pink in this, helps bring out the pink in this beautiful gold and pink ribbon. I think it's going to be beautiful. All right, so I think that looks really, really nice. What do you guys think? It's going to really pop. All right, so let's clip the zip tie. And now we're going to go ahead and attach the bow to the wreath. First things first, let's go ahead and dovetail our bow. Just like that. Let's have this side hang a little longer because it's going to be out here. This is going to hang out on the outside of the bow, of the wreath. So this one is inside. So I want this one to kind of be a little shorter. So. All right, you guys, I had to get new scissors. My other scissors sucked. They weren't cutting right, so I got these from Michael's, believe it or not, really sharp. They came with a really cute, or a cover for them. It snaps on really good. This is perfect, so it's, if my grandkids get a hold of it, they can't open it, and unless they're really, really strong. So it's good protection, has a good cap on it. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. I can link this as well in my description below if anybody's interested in getting their hands on a good pair of scissors. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and attach the bow just like so. And remember, we left some gap in the center before we started adding the rest of our embellishments. And all we have to do is wrap that wire around the wreath frame, just like so. And it's on there secure. And now we're going to jazz it up with the rest of our embellishments. That's going to make it stand out. All right, so make sure that when you select your embellishments, again, your focal, whatever your focal point is, you find the ribbon to match, to add it to enhance your design. All right, so now all we have to do is start adding our picks where we have gaps, and just fill up the wreath itself. So the reason why I left the gap is so we can get the bow on there, and then from there we can add our embellishments. So if you added all your embellishments before you put on your bow, then you would cover most of them up. So now we have gaps within our wreath, within the design, and all these we're going to fill with the embellishments that we have left. It's going to make it stand out really, really pretty. So let's get started. All right, so let me point something out as well. So y'all know me, I like to add a little bit of bling, a little bit of pizzazz to the wreath, but this wreath right here, just like this, could be done. All we would need is to add some more of these spring picks, fill in the gaps, fluff it out some more with spring picks, and this is what I would call a minimalist wreath. Now I have my middle daughter, she's 30-something, 32, and she likes plain, pretty greenery type wreaths. Maybe this gold ribbon would be too much for her, and I could have found a nice, a soft or pink to add to this to make it stand out. So again, whatever your style is, you don't have to go be, as big as I go sometimes. You can make it your style. So this is a base for you. Find some florals, find some spring picks, find some beautiful ribbon, find your center point or your focal point, and take it from there. All right, so I'm gonna bling it up a little bit because I like the fact that I have this shiny heart. And so I'm gonna add some more shine to it to make the heart stand out and make my ribbon stand out. All right, so, and for me, from a grandparent standpoint, my grandbabies like the bling. So I like it to pop for them. They come over, and my grandma name is Gammy. And so like, Gammy, can we see this? Can we see that? And I've had them help me make wreaths, and some of the ones that they like, and pick out certain things for them so they can have and add their little touch to the wreaths as well. So for me, I like this, but I can make one that would be very subtle, and I might just do that actually as I make more Valentine's Day wreaths. So let's go ahead and start adding some of our picks. So I want to go ahead and start with my gold fern. And again, these are the pull apart picks. So we're going to pull them apart. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 out of this. All right. So these gold ferns, may not need all of them. So we'll just start adding them so that they can find their space within our design. So now, as you can see, I'm starting to fill in around the spring picks just to help fill in some of the gaps that we have. And feel free, again, I don't glue anything in until I get it where I want it. Okay. Let's get some on this side. We want it to fan out like this. I probably could have used some more spring picks, and I think I might add some more. I don't know. All right. Next, I want to go ahead and add some pink picks. And again, I'm not gluing anything in until I get it where I want it. And as you can see, sometimes you got to reposition. And I do think I need some more greenery on this. I need it to fan out more right here. So we're going to fan it out this way, but I also want it to come out more around the bow. All right, so feel free to add where you need and give it that fullness all the way down the wreath. All right, so we are not done. And just follow the flow and the design of the wreath itself. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, here we go, the finished design. All right, so you may think it's different. You may think that how could those colors have flowed together for Valentine's, but check it out. Ta-da! Let's get it lined up. All right, how beautiful is that? Doesn't it pop? Everything just aligns perfectly. The gold, the pink, the spring picks and everything. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Beautiful. That focal point, that huge heart, the gem, the gold, the pink, ribbon, everything, you guys. I think this really says everything Valentine's in a unique way. What do you think? All right, can y'all see it really good? All right, yay, okay. All right, so don't forget what we talked about at the beginning of the tutorial, and 2024 is gonna be our opportunity to work together to make wreaths, starting from scratch from the very beginning, and I can look forward to working with you all. And have a great weekend, and thanks for wreathing with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.